Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and today we're taking a look at the patch update that's just come out, which features a brand new faction. Oh, my lip's not... this guy's a mannequin. That's not me. Anyway, this is one of the new things. Look at him. Little mannequin over here. What should we put him in? Let's give him a nice suit of armor. There we go. Anyway, let's tell you what's in the patch update. So firstly, in the private room, when you're now choosing what your favorite outfits are and you want to try some out, instead of having a mirror, you're going to see this mannequin here, which is going to be wearing the same thing as you. But now you can see what it looks like without having this kind of trippy mirror that wasn't quite working amazingly. And it even works with pets. So if I add on a pet here, you can see his creature up here, but also you can see my creature up here. Also, if you're playing on Oculus Quest, a ton of changes have been made to make sure the Quest experience is a little bit better. Those headsets, they've got some power to them, but they struggle a little bit with some parts of the game. So a lot of changes have been made to improve that, including a kind of fog of vision, so that if you're far enough away from a table, the models aren't going to load fully. You're just going to see the bases instead, which makes a huge difference to the amount of frames you're seeing and the whole VR realness experience. The AI got an update too, so it has a new deck and some new cards in it, including some from the Plundering Guild, and that makes it a little bit tougher than it used to be, but still something that you should be able to beat reasonably easily. When you're playing a game, if you're going first, you no longer draw a card on your first turn, so finally there is a disadvantage to going first. So the game's a little bit more balanced now, because before, if you went first, you got to play your cards first, you got to spend your mana first, you got to have more mana before the other person had more mana. So it gave a huge advantage to the first player in a way that some people felt that if they went first, they knew they'd win, and if they went second, they knew they would lose in a mirror matchup. So it's good that that's changed. Also, when your deck gets empty and runs out of cards now, you're going to take damage for each point of mana you didn't spend at the end of your turn. So if you get to the end of your deck and then you play, let's say, just a Dark Matter Blast that costs 1 mana, you've got 9 mana left, you're going to take 9 damage after that. So it's very quickly going to be over unless you can find the fuel and the cards to keep spending your mana properly. Now when you have to move a creature, if you pick it up, it's going to have these new effects for where you place it and shows you where the attackers and defenders are and the cards that have already attacked. There are now a bunch of effects on creatures that show you what they do. So here on the Dungeon Instigator, we can see Last Word with that little 2 circles moving around. And on our Cautious Hunting Party, we can see the leaves which show it has ranged. Also, cards that spawn another card, or commonly referred to as a token, now have updated versions for those tokens. So here's the card we played. You can see it's got an entrance ability and so on. And then this one is the token, which no longer has a rarity, no longer has the entrance effect either. And instead of having the usual border, it instead has this grayed out version. There are also Polish and Russian translations for the game now. And if you're a supporter on Patreon, then there's a lot of stuff added in for that, including those hidden names in the tavern that the highest tier of supporters got to place. I haven't been on an Easter egg hunt yet, but it's something we're going to do in future. Also on Patreon, if you have supported, you will now have a name tag next to your name. You'll also get free tankards, always, forever. And instead of the previous method, you can now update and link your details by going into your watch menu, clicking settings, and then you'll see it there, Patreon email, and you can link your account to your game account. And lastly, of course, is all the new cards that you can get, which, as you'll see, if I switch the toggle here to show the Plundering Guild, I have 1 Plundering Guild card so far, but there are 35 new cards to collect, play with, and try out. Also, when you're building your deck, now you can change your secondary faction as you wish to as you go. So if I want to, this can now just be a Plundering Guild deck, rather than before where you had to create a new deck just to do that. Other than that, there's been a change to a bunch of cards that I'm going to cover all in another video. So some balancing changes, for example, the Gunhaunt now only has 1 attack, whereas it used to have 2. And then aside from that, it's just been a bunch of bug changes where bugs have been reported, where cards were broken or caused the game to freeze or stop. And a lot of those have been fixed now. So you should stop coming across any of those problems that you may have come across before. And there it is. That's your quick summary to the update. So if you've enjoyed this, please like it. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit subscribe and check out those videos that appear in the watch section that you're going to see just now.